everybody, welcome to episode 57 of the Inspired Knitting Podcast. I'm your host Bobby and I am coming to you from Northern Ontario, Canada. Today is Tuesday, June the 15th, 2021. I hope everybody out there is having a wonderful day. It is warm and sunny here in Timmins, Ontario, Canada, where I am. It's not overly hot yet. And it's like the perfect temperature to be outside, so I am very much enjoying it. So wherever you are, I hope that it is a beautiful day and that you can get a little bit of sunshine and fresh air. It just helps to lift the spirits. Anywho, so yeah, this is a knitting podcast. I'm a little rusty. This is a knitting podcast where I speak mainly about my knitting adventures, and sometimes there's crochet in there, and sometimes there is spinning, and I am happy if you follow me over on Instagram. I finally have done some spinning, so there will be a spinning section in the episode, so I am super excited about that. There hasn't been one of those in like well over 6 years, so I am super excited to share that with you guys today. I have some finished objects and I have some works in progress to share with you. So we got a jam-packed episode today. My table is full of stuff to share. So I will jump right into it because I feel this is going to be a long one. First though, show notes can be found in the description box down below. There's like a little arrow that you can click and the menu will drop down. I post everything that I have talked about today, any projects that I work on. I do post direct links to where you can find the patterns on Ravelry, and any shops that I talk about as well, I usually link those. If there's anything that I have mentioned and said that I was going to post and I didn't, and you're curious about it, just send me a message and I will be happy to help you out. I really don't mind. So yeah, you can find me on the interwebs as Inspired Knitting Podcast over on Instagram, where I am most active. And you can also find me over on Ravelry as XCountryGirl1986X. And you can also find my design page, me and my best friend Shelby. We have T for Two Designs, where we have a couple patterns now. We have 2 patterns out, and hopefully more to come. We are working on some stuff, so if you'd like to check that out, we are also on Instagram as well as T for Two Designs. That's all going to be posted below. Hi guys, so I totally forgot. I finished the whole podcast and I forgot one of the most important things I wanted to put in administration, which was our giveaway. So I haven't done one of these in a while, but I put together a little collection of stuff that I think would make a perfect giveaway. So what you're going to get, there's just going to be one winner. So what you will get is this beautiful bag that I put together. So this is perfect for maybe a shawl. It does fit 3 skeins of fingering comfortably. It does have a zipper, and I got it nicely lined inside. There's no pockets or anything fancy like that. Just a plain zippered bag. And to go with the bag, you are going to get not 1, but 2 skeins of yarn. So this here is Malabrigo, and this is in there, let me see here, Miacha base, I believe it's called. I think it's more like a sport weight yarn than a fingering, but it is approximately 420 yards, and it is 100% superwash merino wool. And there is the tag for it and the colorway name. So it is a single ply yarn. It is absolutely beautiful and so soft. So nice. Very nice yarn. So there is 2 skeins there, so you have like almost 1,000 yards of yarn to work with, or a little over 900. Math ain't with me right now, so yeah, you can figure that out. So there's 2 skeins of yarn, and then you are also going to get a scrunchie, which is made by Simply Knit Crochet Creations, and it's just a beautiful fabric scrunchie, and it is the Bobby scrunchie. She named it after me, so yeah, she knows I love my plaids. So you will also get that as well. So that is our giveaway. So all you have to do is be a subscriber of the podcast and leave me a comment down below. Don't care what the comment is. It can be any comment. Just leave me a comment down below and you will be entered in to win this prize. So this is just a little thank you for all your love and all your support to the podcast. And yeah, we are almost at 3,000 subscribers. It was going to be a 3,000 subscriber giveaway, but we are very, very close to that mark. But I wanted to do it sooner because you guys are all so amazing. So if you want to enter in to win this prize, leave me a comment below. And who knows, I might even decide to pull a second winner for a pattern of your choice on Ravelry. We will see. But the giveaway is for these here, so I'm just going to put them all in the bag here. So leave me a comment down below, and on the next episode, I will draw a winner for the prize. So yeah, enjoy the podcast. So yeah, grab your beverage of choice. I got my tea, and you guys are probably tired of seeing this mug by now. I've talked about it so much, but it's my favorite. It's a beautiful cabled, oops, sorry, the sun. It's a beautiful cable knit mug that I got from Bluebird Pottery Shop in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. They are on Etsy, so I highly recommend checking them out. They do have this mug back in stock again, so if you are curious about it, go check it out. So they are pretty amazing. I love them. So yeah. What have you guys all been up to? I've been up to a lot of sock knitting lately. Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady, has officially begun her Summer Sock Camp 2021 on June the 1st. And yeah, I've been taking part in it. So the funny thing is I have a lot of socks, but I think only 2 pairs are officially for Summer Sock Camp because I had some sock whips that I started before June 1st. But neither here nor there. The first pair that I'm going to share with you, it's kind of not in order, but the first pair that I'm going to share with you today is a new pattern that just recently got released. I think it was just before June 1st because I can't count these as Summer Sock Camp, but Julianne Knitter, that's her Instagram tag, but she has Twin Stitches Designs. Julie has a lot of beautiful sock knitting patterns, and she also has a New to Me podcast. She actually has quite a few episodes, but I've been enjoying her podcast so much. She is a fellow Canadian. She's in New Brunswick, Canada, so I was super excited to see that. But yeah, she came out with her So Basic sock collection, and it's got 3 socks in the collection, and they're all beautiful socks. And the one that really caught my attention was her Candy Sprinkle socks. So I had to cast a pair on right away, and yeah, they knit up so quick. So I do have a pair of them here. So yeah, they knit up super, super quick. It's just got this really beautiful, it's almost like a scalloped edge for color work, and then it's just plain knitting for the rest of the sock, and it's also got that scallop detail on the heel and the toe as well. And I thought that was just so cute and so adorable. She used for her sample a beautiful sock set from Sweet Skein o' Mine, who is Amanda, and I thought it was just so cute. I had these ones in my stash. So the green here is Polka Dot Creek. This was one of the 20-gram minis that I got from the Frosty Forest sock set. The socks I showed on my last podcast, this was actually one of the minis that came with it. So there's that one. This one, I don't know what maker this was. It was just something that I pulled from my minis, so I really don't know, but it's a bright like a chartreuse green, and then I did the toe in the green as well. So I thought I had enough of this. I have a feeling that I might have put some of this into my blanket because it was a 20-gram, and I was so sure that I could have gotten heels out of it, but there wasn't quite enough. So it doesn't matter. I think that the contrasting heel looks like really cute on them. So I am super excited about this. The main color, the main color is a color that I have been obsessing about lately. This is 7 Seas by Midnight Cravings, and I hope you guys can see the beauty of it. It is just so gorgeous. It's like a minty green base, and it's got all these beautiful speckles in it. It's just so pretty. I want more of this color. But yeah, so these were super easy to knit up. I knit these 2 at a time, not on magic loop. I did these on DPNs, but I knit them at the same time. So I had one casted on one set of DPNs, and then I casted the second one on another set of DPNs, just so I could do them, you know, kind of at the same time, and have a finished pair of socks. So that was really helpful, because if you all are sock knitters, you know that second sock syndrome is a thing, and I really didn't want that to happen. So yeah, so those are my Candy Sprinkle socks by Twin Stitches Designs. Do check her out. She has a lot of fabulous stuff, and she has this is part 1. The Oh So Basic collection is part 1, and she has a part 2 coming out, which I believe might be coming out at the end of this month, and she's hinted that it's based for guys, so it might be like some unisex patterns or male patterns in there for socks, which I think is like super cool, because if you look online, there isn't a lot of those, so that would be really interesting. So do check her out. Okay, so I'm just gonna put my next pair of socks on blockers here. I only have one set of blockers, so gotta share. I'll only put one on. So you guys have already seen the first sock, but I did a test knit for Northwoods Knit Co., which is Carly, I'm sorry, and she came out with her sock collection as well. I'm just gonna look at my notes because I don't want to mess it up. It was her mini party sock collection. So there was 3 socks in this collection as well. There was 2 faded socks and a stranded colorwork sock. So I chose to do the colorwork one, and I already showed you guys the first one. Well, now I got the second one done as well. So these have been finished for a couple weeks, but I just hadn't podcasted yet. So anyways, I already shared all the details of the yarns. They're just 5 different 20-gram minis that I pulled out of my stash. And this one here is Cozy Posy Yarn Co. I don't know the name, so I apologize. This one here is the 7 Seas that I just showed in my Candy Sprinkle socks by Midnight Cravings. I believe this gold one is a Timber Yarns. And this beautiful green here is Frosty Forest by Polka Dot Creek. And then the white is just Cascade Heritage or Cascade Fingering. I can't remember. Either or. So there's my socks. I really, really love these. I kind of don't want to wear them now. I kind of thinking of just hanging them up on my my wall for display. They were easy to do. It is an easy color work pattern. You got some you're working with 2 colors, and then you got like a break section in here where you're just working the one solid. So it is a relaxing knit, but it's still a lot of work. So yeah, I don't know if I want to wear them now, so they just might hang on my wall and be pretty. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. But they are very, very nice socks, and I highly recommend the pattern. So that was one sock in the mini party sock collection by Northwoods Knit Co., who is Carly Perrin, and I will have that listed below. So there you go. So there is that. So that is 2 pairs of socks that I've had that I got off the needles. Yesterday, not yesterday, the day before, I ended up getting another work in progress off the needles. And this one I am super, super excited about. I'm just going to put these on the blockers to stretch it out a bit. So I had casted on the Cozy Up with JoJo leg warmers by Cozy Up Knits, and I finished those as well. And I just really, really love these. I love the cables. You know, my cables are my thing, and I think they are just fabulous. So for these ones, I ended up using the Northern Pearl, which is a local yarn shop to me here in Timmins, Ontario. So I used her superwash fingering base, which is 420 yards, 415 grams, and it is an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon in the Eloise colorway. And I am completely obsessed with this color. I really love blue, and it's just got the perfect shades of blue in it. I really love it. So there it is there in the skein. Sorry about the sun, guys. So yeah, I knit those up and I really, really love them. I think these are the cutest. I did 3 repeats of the pattern. I believe the pattern may have called for 4 repeats, but it's totally adjustable to whatever you would like. And if you wanted, it is so easy just to cut in a heel, put a toe in, and you could actually make these into socks. It would be really easy to do that. But I chose to do the leg warmers, and I really love them. I could see knitting this pattern again for sure, because those cables, they are just incredible. I love them. So yeah, those are the Cozy Up with JoJo leg warmers by Cozy Up Knits. I'll just, it's so pretty. Okay, so I got those finished. And so far, everything that I've showed you is not for summer sock camp. These were all whips, so they do not count. But I've been knitting a lot of socks. It's pretty much all I've wanted to knit lately, so I've been enjoying it. Okay, so the next thing I have to share with you isn't a finished object yet, but it is a hoe. So I will put it on the blocker here, just so it will be easier to see. Okay, so I casted on just a simple pair of ankle socks and some scrap yarns that I had left over. I'm not following a pattern for this. I just cast it on 64 stitches, and I'm just doing a simple, what is that, a 3x1 rib. So yeah, nothing fancy. I did a afterthought heel, just a standard rounded toe, nothing fancy. I just wanted some ankle socks for summer. Even in the winter time, I just find that I prefer ankle socks to higher socks. So yeah, nothing fancy. So yeah, it's just a basic sock. I casted the other one on yesterday. I got the ribbing started on it. That's as far as I've gotten. The yarn is Madeline Tosh Glazed Pecan, and I knit a hat in this. It is actually a lace weight, but I am holding it double. So that's what my contrast color is. And then this here is actually some scraps that I have left over. It is the Cozy Knitter. And the colorway was something romantic or something romance. I can't quite remember, but I had already knit myself a pair of socks in it before. It's a self-striping yarn. So I just am using the rest of my scraps to knit a shorty sock. So yeah, nothing fancy, but I love it. So there's that. So I have one more hoe to show you, and then we will move on into works in progress. So this sock, out of all of them, can actually be considered for summer sock camp because I did cast this one on after June 1st. And this one, you guys, out of all the socks that I've done, I really love this one. So this is just another shorty sock. I'm again just using some scraps from my my scrap pile. So the contrast is Timber Yarns again. I believe the colorway is called Licorice. It came in a I think it was 5 20-gram mini set that I got. But it's Timber Yarns for sure. And then this beautiful colorway, which I am just obsessed with, is Hypnotic Yarns. And this is one of the Inner Circle colorways that I had received earlier this year. So yeah, if Inner Circle, if you're not familiar, is Cheryl of Hypnotic Yarns. It's part of her Patreon. So if you are a gold member, you will receive a 50-gram skein every month. And the really cool part is that you get to she usually posts inspiration pictures every month, so there will be 3 pictures that are posted, and they got all like different color schemes and stuff like that. So you get to vote on some like what you like, and then whatever gets the highest vote gets chosen for that month. And she does a video of the dyeing of the yarn, which I absolutely love that part. I think it is incredible. I have dabbled in dyeing yarn before, and I know how hard it is, but I also know how much fun it is. So I really get a joy from watching her dye up the yarn. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. So anyways, I love Cheryl's colors. Cheryl also does the Yarnable boxes, which I just posted my Yarnable box yesterday, I think. So she has a lot of beautiful stuff. So if you are not familiar with Cheryl, go follow her over on Instagram, Hypnotic Yarns, and check her out. But all that to say, that's her yarn there. I'm just, again, doing a simple 2x2 rib this time. I find that a rib sock really helps hold to the foot rather than just plain stockinette. It kind of, I find over time that it really loses its firmness or texture, whatever you want to call it, and it becomes loose. So I find a ribbed really helps to cinch into the foot. So yeah, for this one I just did an Eye of Partridge heel. Nothing too fancy. Rounded toe. Yeah. So there's that. Now, moving on into works in progress, I did start the second sock. And I was hoping to have it done for the podcast, but it didn't happen, which is fine. So, here is the second sock. Now on Crazy Sock Ladies Summer Sock Camp, there are different cabins that you can join, and I have to go back and watch the video. I think you can be part of more than one cabin, but I've joined Team DPN because I really love my DPNs. I've been magic looping a lot more lately and really been enjoying it, but I still love my DPNs. So that's how I am knitting these ones. So here is the second sock. I am now into the gusset decreases because I find a heel flap and gusset fits my foot the best. And then for the heel on this one, the heel and the toe on this one, I do not have enough of this because, again, some of this went into my blanket. So I decided that this beautiful mini skein here contrasted beautifully. And this is Spice Market by Polka Dot Creek. And I really love that color. It's a beautiful, beautiful burnt orange. I just love that. So yeah, the heel and the toe on the sock will be the burnt orange, which I think that will look absolutely beautiful. So there is that one. Again, that's not a pattern. I'm just doing 64 stitches again, 2.25 millimeter, and it's just a 2x2 rib on the top of the foot. That's all. Pretty straightforward and simple. So yeah, there is that. I hope the wind ain't too loud today, and if you hear noises, it's just people in the neighborhood out and about because it's a beautiful day. I decided to film today outside in my little garden. It's small, but I love it so much. So we got this beautiful little flower plant here. We got some crawling leaves. There is a lattice here, and the people that owned the house before, they put these beautiful vines up, and I just love them. And then over here we have just a little vegetable garden. We might extend it over onto this side. We don't know yet, but my strawberry plants, we got some strawberries, we got some hot peppers, 2 different kinds, and we got some English cucumbers growing and green onions. I think that's, oh, and a tomato. We got cherry tomatoes as well. So I'm super excited. I came out yesterday and saw that my strawberries were just little itty bitty things, and I just love it. I'm so happy to have a garden again. It's awesome. Okay. So I thought I would come out today. It's such a gorgeous day. It's too nice to be inside, so thought I would come out here and podcast. That way you guys could have a beautiful view to see. Okay, so I'm just gonna look at my show notes quick, make sure I'm not getting too far off here. Okay, so the next thing I have to share with you is another sock. Yep, should have warned you guys, this is the episode of socks, but it's okay. So this one is in a made by me bag, something I just made up. Of course, if you're gonna do summer sock camp, you gotta have a new project bag, right? Yeah. Okay, so this sock here is I am following a pattern for this one. So for the contrast colors, I am using this was actually a 50-gram skein from Richard DeVries. It's Zest Off. It's a bright yellow. And then the main color of the sock. Now, if you haven't gotten your June Yarnable box, and you don't want to be spoiled, I would not look away. You should probably have it by now, but just in case, this is the June Yarnable. So if you don't want to see it, look away. But here it is. This is Wildflowers. And so I'm putting these two together. I pulled this out of my mini stash. I thought that it worked together very well. I wanted something just very bright and vibrant and colorful. And I definitely wanted to pull out one of those colors. So I had this, and I've been really wanting to use it because lately yellow has been, I've been very attracted to yellow. So I thought that would be perfect. Okay. So here's the sock. So for this one, I am doing the Sugar Cubes pattern, which is part of a collection by Dana Rae Makes. It is part of her Tea Party collection. So there's 2 socks in the collection. There's the Sugar Cubes, which is the one I'm doing, and then there's the, I believe it's called the Tea Leaves, which I really wanted to do the tea leaves pattern, but as you can tell, this is a very variegated yarn, and I have seen somebody else knitting this yarn up, and it does have a pooling effect to it, but depending on your gauge, if you have a slightly tighter gauge, and I do have a slightly tighter gauge, you will get this really cool striping effect. So I am super excited to see how this is working up. I really love those unintentional stripes in there. That's really cool. So I am enjoying this very, very much. I am following everything to pattern, so it's got a 1x1 twisted rib. And the Sugar Cubes pattern is a super easy and mindless pattern to follow, so I highly recommend it. Dana has a lot of beautiful patterns, sock patterns, so do head over and check her out as well, because her stuff is incredibly amazing. So yeah, I will have that posted below. So yeah, it is very rare that I get a new yarn and like cake it up right away and use it. Usually I want to put it on my shelf and admire it for a while. But this one here, when I saw it, it was just the colors. I was like, this is a summer knit. This has to be caked up now. And socks was the perfect thing for it. So I am super happy. I am doing this on Magic Loop. I am using a 2mm needle. I find that when I'm doing Magic Loop, my gauge is just slightly looser. So I go from a 2.5 down to a 2mm just to make up for the difference in gauge. So yeah, that is the Sugar Cubes pattern by Dana Rae Makes, and it is part of the Tea Party collection. So I do believe that you have to buy the collection, which has the 2 patterns, which you would want to anyways, because it is, both patterns are beautiful. So yeah. Okay, so that's it for the socks. Yeah. Sorry, but not sorry. Socks are just the jam when it is summertime because it is hot and you don't really want to work with anything too big and bulky. So yeah. And besides, it's summer sock camp. So camp runs from June 1st until August 1st, I believe. I think. Something like that. Summer sock camp is free to join. It doesn't cost anything to join. Kay has some tutorials that have been posted to YouTube to help you get started if you want to try, or if you're new to knitting socks, or you want to try out some different methods like 9-inch circulars or magic loop, stuff like that. She has some really great tutorials to get you started and give you all these little tips and tricks. So magic loop, for instance, I've talked about this before, but in case you're new, I started off knitting socks on DPNs. I've tried magic loop before and I did not like it. It just wasn't my thing. I was getting ladders. And then my bestie Shelby told me about this little trick. If you just snug up that second, knit the first stitch and then snug up the second stitch, it will stop the laddering, and it did. So I tried it and I've really been loving it. My next thing that I want to try is 2 at a time. So we'll see. I'm being adventurous, and I would suggest that, you know, if you have one method and it works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if you're just curious and you want to try new techniques, definitely head over to Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady, and check out some of her videos, because you might be surprised. You might find a new technique that you're gonna fall in love with and like. So yeah, never know. Anywho, so moving on into works in progress, I started a new shawl. Do I have business starting new things? No, I do not, but you gotta knit what makes you happy, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. And because Jamie of the Cozy Up Knits, hi Jamie, because she is such an enabler, I had to cast this one on. So if you watch the Cozy Up Knits podcast, Jamie did the Vertices Unite. I know JoJo did one, and Katie and Sarah did one as well. And then Jamie casted on the Jig Shawl puzzle by Stephen West. The Vertices Unite is by Stephen West as well. And oh my god, she was doing it in these shades of pink, and I just loved it. So I didn't have enough pink at the time to do the Vertices Unite. I believe you need 6 skeins of fingering, I believe. So I was looking at my stash, and I ended up putting some colors together that I really love. So I'm gonna go through the yarns first, because it'll just be a bit easier. Now, I don't know all the names, because I don't think I have all the tags in my bag. I'm bad for this. Or wait a minute, I might. So I put together a bunch of my Cozy Posy yarns, because y'all know I fangirl over her all the time. Cozy Posy is a local dyer here in Ontario, Canada, and her colors are just so incredibly beautiful, and a lot of them are dark and moody, which I love. So I ended up putting together a bunch of hers that I had been hoarding. So yeah, this is what I've chosen so far. So I hope I'm not gonna get this wrong. Okay, so one of the first colors that I chose is this beautiful brown, and I do not have the tag in here for it, unfortunately, but it's just this beautiful chocolatey brown. Now, you do hold your yarns double for this, but I have 1 skein of that. And then the second one that I'm using is this beautiful burgundy, which has like some golds in it and some lighter pops of it's almost like a silver, I think. I don't know, there's a couple different colors in there. This was from her one of her recent collections she come out with, and I believe this is called Witchy Woman, if I got that correct. So I've got that. The next one that I am using in here is this beautiful skein, and I don't have the tag for that. I do apologize. If I find the tags, I will definitely be updating my Ravelry if I haven't already. I can't remember. But there's this one, and this one I just really love because it's got all these gorgeous colors in it. Okay, and then the next one is, this was one of her Christmas colors. This is Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire, which is these different shades of brown and caramel. Oh, it's just so pretty. I really love this one. And then I don't know if this one's gonna make the cut yet. I added 2 more to my bag. This one is Hunter's Moon, which is like a silvery gray, and it's got that gold in there as well. So I'm not sure yet. And then the last color I have in here is this beautiful the sun is definitely glaring that out, I believe, but it's a beautiful peachy pink with speckles. And I do not remember what this one was called either. But they're just a bunch of cozy posy that I threw together. And I am using, there is one of the colors that you use in it, you strand with mohair. So this is not cozy posy. This is the only thing in the shawl that is not cozy posy. This is Handmaiden in her, just her mohair base. And it's just a chocolate brown. This, I know this is used in the border for sure, but it is used for a section in the shawl as well. So the section that has the mohair in it, I'm holding this one with it. So it's those two that are held together for sections in the shawl and then the border. Yeah. So I'm having fun with it. I just pulled together a bunch of colors, and I started on this and I was going far with it, and then we had like a heat wave. Temperatures were like in the low 40s, so I did not want to pick up this big cozy shawl to work on. So it kind of sat, but I did work on it a little bit the other night. So here's what I have so far. I'll show it to you on the right side. So you start off with this triangle here, and then I do have this on like one cable, so it's a bit awkward, but then you do this little triangle here, so you can see this is where my mohair is being held. And now I've started the brown section here, and I am doing section 4. This is section 4 now. So yeah, it's a very fun shawl, and I do enjoy it, and I cannot wait to have it done because it's cozy posy and it's gonna be so cozy. I'm gonna love it. So yeah, hopefully I can work on it a little bit as it if we have some cooler days. The stitch marker on this is one of my favorites. It's Wildflower by Grizzly Knits. This is the Progress Keeper, but I also have the matching stitch markers to it as well. If you do not know Tracy of Grizzly Knits, she has a podcast. Hi Tracy. I absolutely love her. She is amazing, and she has these amazing stitch markers. And I saw that her stitch markers are now going to be at the Knitting Loft in Toronto. Congratulations, Tracy. That is so exciting. So yeah, if you want to check her out, she does have an Etsy shop, but her stitch markers and Progress Keepers will also be at the Knitting Loft. So yeah, do check her out. I really love it because she uses those beautiful stones, and they come in all sorts of different colors, and she puts these fun little charms on them. They're just so beautiful. I love them. So yeah, Tracy is definitely one of my favorites for Progress Keepers and stitch markers lately. They're incredible. So yeah, that is my Jig Shawl puzzle by Stephen West. So I'm sure I don't have to tell you about Stephen West. He is quite popular in our community, but sometimes I tend not to gravitate towards his patterns because they're quite colorful or they're quite extravagant, like for texture and stuff. But I see, when you see different podcasters or different people on Instagram that do the patterns and they put together these different color combinations, you get to make these shawls your own, or you get to make these designs your own. You get to pick the colors, and you can make them as wild or as subtle as you want to. So I think he has great patterns, but this will actually be my first Stephen West pattern, I believe. So I'm excited about that. Okay, so there was that one. I'm just gonna have a sip of tea. Okay, what do I have next? Okay, I have been working on my comfort fade a little bit. It has upgraded itself into a big bag now, like a reusable shopping bag, because it's too big to fit into any of my project bags. Okay, so the last time I shared it with you guys, I can't remember if I was still on the body or not, but I did finish the body. Now, hopefully I can show this to you guys. No, I cannot. Okay. It's on, I picked up for the collar, so it's very, very awkward. But here is the body of the sweater. So I have casted off the body. I am using Barocco Vintage. For this one here is Neptune, Calico, and my third color, it blends in a little bit with Calico. You can see a difference, but it's quite a subtle transition. But this one is Gingham, and then I chose Kiwi, a bright one for the bottom. So, sorry I can't show that a bit better, but so I got the body all casted off, and I was about to start the sleeves, and I remember doing, it does have a big shawl collar on it, and Tracy of the Grocery Girls actually just did a regular collar and a button band, which I think looks beautiful, but I really wanted the shawl collar. I like the big shawl collars, and I remember doing one of these before and remember how much I hated having the sleeves on and then having to do the big shawl collar. So I chose to do the collar first, and as you can see, the collar starts right here. So it starts off with your first color, and then you do some fading into your second, fading into your third, and there is short rows on each of the solid sections. So I am doing the short rows now for color 3, and I am about to start fading in for my fourth color, which is the Kiwi, and then the collar will be done. So I am super close to getting the collar off the needles, which I am excited about. So the collar, it is including your button band as well, which is really hard to see. So it is garter. Getting all tangled here, guys. So yeah, I was hoping to have the collar off the needles so I could show you better. But again, it's been hot, and you don't really want to pick up something that's heavy and in your lap, so I haven't been gravitating towards it much. But I am loving how it is coming out. It's going to be gorgeous, and I can't wait to wear it. And then I get to move on to the sleeves. So yeah, I can definitely see myself knitting another one of these. I have a feeling that I am going to get a lot of wear out of it. So yeah, it's really awesome. So this is Comfort Fade by Andrea Mowry. And I'm just using, like I said, all Barocco Vintage, which is, I think it's a 60% acrylic and 40% wool blend. But it is really, really nice yarn. I think that it is super affordable if you're knitting sweaters. I gravitate towards that, or the Cascade 220. Those are my two go-tos for sweater yarn. But yeah, that's that. Okay, so I have one more work in progress that I've been working on recently that I would like to share with you. And I actually just casted this one on last night. Yeah, I can't finish something and cast something new on. I just have to start it right away. So this is another Made by Me bag, which I will have an update coming soon. Don't know how soon, but soon I will be launching my bags. So yeah. So anyways, I decided to cast on a new sweater. I was watching the latest episode of the Grocery Girls Knits, Tracy and Jody, and I noticed that Tracy is doing a sweater for Jody's birthday. And as soon as I saw it, I absolutely fell in love with it. I think it's called the, you know what, I'm not going to pronounce it and butcher it, so I'll just show it to you. That is the sweater. It's by Jennifer Steingass. I have wanted to do one of her patterns for a very long time. And there is the name. Jennifer has some of the most beautiful colorwork sweaters I have ever seen. I just love them. So when I saw this one, I had to do it. It is a DK weight sweater, and she uses make pie for the body of the sweater, and then she's using spin cycle yarns for the yoke. I believe when I look through the pattern, like projects for this pattern, people have used just like two different colors for their contrast. If you're not familiar with spin cycle yarns, it's almost like a hand spun yarn, so it gradients in color. So I'm not doing that for mine. I'm just gonna put this away. I have chosen to use some Fiber Co. company yarns that I had in my stash. So my body is going to be in this one, which is Reliable, which is a beautiful navy blue. Now I don't have the tag for this one, but it is 100% wool. It's not superwash, so it will be perfect. I've really been wanting to knit a sweater that is non-superwash, because superwash is a coating on the yarn, so it really sops up the moisture, and wool does not. So if it's not superwash, you won't get wet because it absorbs it doesn't absorb the moisture. So I'm super happy. I wanted to use this up, and it is a rustic wool, but it's so spongy and airy. It's almost like a woolen spun, and it's very soft. I am sensitive to wool. There is some rustic wools. I am a yarn snob, but I'm not opposed to more rustic wools. I really love them, but I just can't wear them. I just can't have them around my neck, and that I break out. It's horrible. But this one here, I don't think I'm gonna have an issue with. It is super soft. It does feel toothy to the touch, but I don't feel it on the skin. So if you're looking for a rustic wool, I would definitely recommend going to your local yarn store. I know all my local yarn stores around carry this, so do check them out and see what you think. You'll love it. So I got that one. That's Reliable. And then for my contrast color, I ended up picking up a couple skeins of this is the Fiber Co. again, and this is the Erinmore Light, and it's their Donegal Heritage, which is, let me just see here, comes in 100 gram skein, 328 yards per ball. It is 80% wool, 10% silk, and 10% cashmere, and they are made in the Republic of Ireland. Even better. So there's the tag. So the sweater will be made all in the Fiber Co., which I'm super excited about. And here it is in the cake, and I really love it. It's a beautiful silver gray, but it's got a beige hint to it, and it's got those flecks of beige and white in it for the tweed. It is absolutely beautiful. So I am only going to use one solid color for my contrast. I'm not fading it or using more than one. So here is what I have so far. I started this yesterday, and you guys, this knits up pretty fast. I am somewhat slow when it comes to color work, and this color work chart is, because you're only working with 2 strands of yarn, so it does go pretty quick, but it is an easy chart. Super easy. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here's what I got so far. Try to tuck that in there. All right, there we go. It is a yoked, colorworked yoke sweater, and I am loving it. It does have short row shaping in the back, and if I can do this correctly, you can see the starting of the chart there. So beautiful. I really love my color choices. I'm going to be happy with this. I had considered, I do have some Cascade Wave, which does act like a hand spun and it does gradiate in color, but I chose just to stick with the simplicity of the gray. I think that the Tweety bits are adding that little bit of pop and texture to it. I think it's going to be awesome. And the texture that this sweater has, I know I'm gonna love it. Sorry guys, the video cut out there. So yeah, that is my Jennifer Steingass sweater. So hopefully I will work on this a little bit more today. I'm hoping it won't be too hot. While I am showing this, this is one of the Progress Keepers, or stitch markers I was talking about. This is one of the Wildflower collection ones by Grizzly Knits. So I got that on there. So yeah, I didn't have no business casting on a new sweater, but I really wanted to cast that one on because I just fell in love with it. I thought it was beautiful. I do have a couple Jennifer Steingass patterns in my Ravelry library, but I just never casted any of them on yet. So most of them are fingering, and yeah. So this one was a DK, so it's not too bad. So anywho, there is that. So that's pretty much it for the knitting section of the podcast. So now we're going to move on into the spinning section of the podcast. So I'm super excited to reintroduce this one back into the podcast. I used to spin before, and it was on an electric wheel, and then I ended up having to move, and it got left behind. So I kind of went out of spinning for a while. And then recently I ended up getting a traditional spinning wheel that treadles. And as you know, I'm in a wheelchair, so it's kind of hard to treadle, but I have enough power in my feet to get somewhat of a momentum going. So I tried it a couple times and it just was not working, and I kind of just set it aside for future considerations, and then I decided to bring it outside. So I realized that one of my problems was my tension wasn't set right, it was set too loose. So that's a reason why it kept like pulling and breaking. And then the second reason was it kept sliding on me. So I brought it outside here to the patio and put it on the patio stones, and it just grips the wheel so it doesn't take off on me. So I ended up getting a momentum going, and I started spinning, and I was super excited. So I have an Ashford Traditional, right? Yes, I have an Ashford Traditional, and it's an amazing wheel. All Ashfords are, all spinning wheels are, to be honest with you. But anyways, so I went to my local yarn store, the Northern Pearl, and I ended up picking up some Ashford Corriedale. So just let me show you what it looks like. So it comes in a package like this, and you get 5, right, or 6. It's 5 or 6 little bumps of fiber, and they're just like that. And this one here, it is 100% New Zealand pure New Zealand wool. It's a 30 micron Corriedale wool, and I got it in the spring color collection. So it just has these beautiful shades of purple, and then it started to gradiate up into little balls of pink, and it goes to a really vibrant pink. So yeah, I thought that this was a great way to start. I chose Corriedale because Corriedale has a longer staple length. I believe it's 6 to 8 inches. So I thought that it was good if you're a new spinner. Now, I don't know a ton about spinning, but I do know that to begin spinning, you want something with a little bit longer staple length, because the longer it is, the less chance you have of it pulling too fast and breaking on you. So when I say staple length, it's just, you can see here, you see that? That's just what the staple length means. It just means when you draft out your wool, it's just the longer. If you go for merinos or excuse me, if you go for merino or silk, you tend to get a shorter staple length. I know that Angora rabbit, that's like a really short staple length as well. But yeah, so that little bump, you just pull it apart and you get this nice little section of roving, and you can just start drafting out this to spin. Or something that I do, something I would recommend to any new beginner, you just take your fingers and just split it down, and then as you're working with it, you can split it as many times as you want, but then you just start drafting out your fiber to spin it. So that's all I do. I still draft it out. I can spin from this, but I choose to draft it out because I tend to get a finer spin that way, but you don't have to. It is totally your thing. So here is my first bobbin. So you can see on this one, my purples are in the bottom, and I have gradiated to the pink. So I have two more pink things to go. Words. I don't have words right now, but I have two more little things of okay, you guys, I am having technical difficulties today. I'm running out of storage, so I cleaned some things out, so hopefully we won't have another interruption. So anyways, I was talking about the bobbin. I started with the purple, and I have two more little bats of Corriedale left in the pink, and that will be 2 ounces altogether. That's what those little bundles are. So my thought process with this is I bought a second bundle of the same colors, and I am going to do the reverse. So I have already started with the pink, and it'll come out to the purple. And my plan is to do a 2-ply and do the pink and the purple together and just ply it like that and see what I get to get a Barbara pole effect. So yeah, that's exciting. That's what I've been doing. And then I ended up checking out something that I've been wanting for a while, and I decided to bite the bullet and get one. And it finally came in. Did take a little bit, but that's okay. So I was checking out the Electric Eel Nano by Dreaming Robots, and what that is it's an electric spinning wheel, and I believe it is 3D printed. And the one thing that I really loved about it, it's been out for a little bit. It's gotten some really good reviews. I was nervous because it is a smaller wheel, but it got some really good reviews. And the best part about it is if you want to get into spinning, one of the downsides is that unless you can get a secondhand traditional wheel like I did, you're talking like over $1,000 investment. Some wheels are like $1,200 up to $2,000. Like, it's a bit of an investment, and if you're on a budget like I am, you can't afford something like that. And the electric spinners, they are just as bad. Ashford's is like $900. I used to have the Vespera, which is by Heavenly Hand Spinning. They are on Etsy. The Vespera, I think at that time was $300 American, which it comes with 4 bobbins, and yeah, it's a really nice a wheel. But I know that there is some cheaper options for spinning wheels out there now. But the one that I decided to get was the electric eel. It retails for 110 USD, or you can get the eel 6.0, which is just a bigger version of the Nano, and it retails for 279 USD. So yeah, it's very affordable for an e-spinner. So since I started off on an e-spinner, I just wanted to have another one. So I thought that was a good price point. There is the card. So that's what it looks like. And let me see here. Yeah, there we go. There's his business details. So I've had this wheel for about a week now, and I've been using it, and I really, really love it. I think that it's a good investment. So just a couple of things that you get with it. You get this really nice card where it shows you the different twists that you can do. So the Z twist is, it spins clockwise, and then when you want to apply it, you do the S twist, which spins it in the other opposite direction, which is counterclockwise. That way your spinning doesn't come apart. On the other side of the card, it's a nice plastic card. It shows you the different gauges for your yarn, so you can wrap your yarn around this and it will tell you what you have spun up to. So that's very handy to have. And then something else that I added to my order, which was $25 USD, was a Lazy Kate. My traditional wheel already came with one, but I decided to get one for this just in case the bobbins didn't fit on it. So yeah, very good price point wise. So comes in this beautiful little box, and I have actually been keeping mine in there just to protect it, because I do have 2 kitty cats that like to check things out. So yeah. So it does come with an adapter, and it plugs right into your wheel. And sorry about that. The really cool thing that I like is it also comes with another plug-in option that will plug into your phone charger. So I really like that option. So it's totally mobile, so you could take this in the vehicle with you and spin, which is like pretty friggin' awesome. If you're on a road trip and you want to take your wheel, you totally could. So I really liked that. Okay, so here is the wheel itself. It is just so stinking cute. I absolutely love it. So it has your drive band here. This is your control to turn it on and increase your speeds. So it does not come with a foot pedal. My Vespera did. The Vespera came with a like a sewing machine pedal. This one is a dial, and I was a little about that. I wasn't sure. I think the Eel 6.0 does have a pedal. I'm not sure. But I was a little weary on this. It does take a little bit of getting used to. So I like to do a long draw. So if you're not familiar with spinning, a short draw is where you stay pretty close to the orifice of the wheel. I tend to be out about that much, so I keep it closer to my body because I like a long draw, which gives you a more airy woolen spun, I believe. But that's just my preferred way of spinning. But being a long draw, I find that I am able to just draw out a bit of fiber that way, and then be able to turn the speed to whatever I need it to be. So I'm got used to it. It's all muscle memory like anything else. It's got these really strong magnets on here that hold your little hook to, it goes inside the orifice hole here, so you can pull your fiber out. And I didn't see it at first. Oops, I lost it. I didn't see it at first, but after watching the video on the website, there's some really good how to get you started videos and how to spin. I realized that it was there, so that's genius. And the magnets are really strong. It stays on there. So yep, that is pretty much it. And to remove the bobbin, it's super simple. You just pull off this back part here, and you just slide the whole flyer off, and you can change your bobbins. And you do have to take your tensioner band off. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, you can. It's just held on via here, and your drive band, you just slip it off, and it's super simple. There's some really good videos if you have one or you're interested in getting one. So stupid simple. It also has these little holes in it here. Has one on each 4 of the corners if you wanted to tack it down. It is lightweight, so sometimes if you're going at it, you can tend to, like, it does slide a little bit. So what I do, I put it on my either on the glass patio table here, it doesn't really move, or I have my sewing table. I choose to spin there, and I just put it on the cutting mat. It adds just a little bit of grip, so it doesn't really slide as much. You can just get a little mat, put it on, maybe a little quilted mat or something like that. I don't find it an issue, but it is super lightweight. Anyways, so as you can see here, I've started spinning my pink up here. I started with the lightest pink, and I'm coming to the purple. Only thing with this, it says that it will hold 2 ounces of fiber. Now, I believe that these this fiber was equal to 2 ounces, and you definitely can't get 2 ounces on it unless you spin super thin. And since I'm like starting out again, as you can tell, I am not spinning that thin. My consistency is getting better, but I'm not spinning that thin. So if you were to spin a lot thinner, perhaps you would get 2 ounces on it. I'm definitely not. You won't be able to see it now because I go beyond, but they do have like a little notch in the bobbins that tells you the halfway point. So he recommends that if you spin to the halfway point, change to a new bobbin, then you can ply onto 1 bobbin for, you know, for your 2 ounces. But unfortunately, I won't be able to do that. I really wanted to keep it all as one, but that's fine. I have the option of spinning or plying it all up on my big traditional wheel, or just breaking up the skeins on and ply it on this. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I'm just super happy to be back into spinning again, and I am very much enjoying the process, and I can't wait to start applying. I have those 2 things of purple left to spin up on my electric one, and I have 2 more of the pink to spin up on my traditional wheel, and then I can figure out how I'm going to apply it. So maybe by the next podcast I will be able to share that with you guys, and we'll see. It will be fun. So that is my my spinning section of it. So if you're interested in the Nano, I will have the links below to where you can check it out. So yeah. Okay guys, I don't know how long we are into this now, but I'm just going to show some of the things that I've recently gotten in the mail. And I probably won't show it all, but I wanted to start, since we are talking about spinning. I went to my local yarn shop, the Northern Pearl in Timmins. Hi Angela. And Angela is the most beautiful soul ever. I really love her. It's one thing to have a yarn shop that is local to you, but when you have the right people in the yarn store, it's incredible. And she is one of those people. I really love her. And unfortunately right now Ontario came out of lockdown. Up here in Timmins, it's going in 3 phases. We're not opening up until next week, I believe it is. But the one good thing is she's still able to do curbside pickup. So that's how we've been doing it. And I ordered a thing of fiber to do on my wheel. And she included this beauty in there as a gift to me. This is her own hand-dyed. And it is a BFL. And I have spun with BFL before and I loved it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's another one of those fibers that have a long staple length on it. So there it is. It's absolutely stunning and beautiful. So I think when I get the pink done, I'm definitely gonna have to spin this one up because I just want to see this come together. So beautiful. And she is an absolutely beautiful dyer. I have quite a few of her yarns. So that was one of the things that I received. And then I got a couple yarny things in the mail as well. So actually, since I was talking about Angela of the Northern Pearl, I ended up picking up some of her hand-dyed yarn, and these are all on her superwash fingering, 420 yards, 115 grams, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. So this first one here is Witch's Brew, and I was looking at this one for a while and I just had to get it. It is so beautiful and I really want to see this knit up. I think it's going to be incredible. And then I saw this one, and this one is First Kiss, which is another just stunning colorway. I really love her yarn. This is my favorite part. So I ended up getting those two, and I got my eye on more, of course I do, but I just picked out those two. And then I ended up getting, I ended up seeing on Instagram that Jody, she's been dyeing yarn recently, and I'm excited about that because I love her colors. It's To The Max Yarn Co. And she actually had, I think this was a couple weeks ago now, but she had free shipping for May, or just the one weekend. So I decided to grab 2 of her skeins, and the first one that I grabbed was Sourpuss. I saw that she had cranked that up into a sock tube, and I just really, really loved it. Don't know if it's going to be in a shawl or a sock yet. I don't know. It's just sitting on my shelf looking beautiful. So this is her fingering weight, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and it's 415 yards. And then I got her one of her sock sets. This is Strawberry Pie, and I love strawberry rhubarb pie. I love strawberry shortcake. Not that I can eat any of that stuff anymore, but I love the colors. I love strawberries. I still eat my strawberries. I love them. But this one is on her Sparkle Mini Sock Set. 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon high twist, 400 yards. And then the mini is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% stellina in a 20 gram or 88 yards. Which is a beautiful, it's almost like a denim-y blue. So pretty. So I got that. And then I also got my Inner Circle colorway, which was for May, correct? Yes, I believe May or June. No, it would be May. It was May's Inner Circle. This is Cheryl of Hypnotic Yarns, and this was for her Patreon. So The theme was, we got 3 to choose from, and the one that got chosen was the green room. And this is on her plush sock, 85-15 superwash merino nylon, 220 yards, 50 grams. And this was her interpretation. And when I saw her dyeing this up, I was just like in awe. I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. So yeah, I don't know what it's going to be. I might put it into socks like I did the other one. The 50 grams are actually perfect for socks if you do a contrasting heel and toe, or just do shorties, I suppose. But I don't know. I've put some of my inner circle colorways into my scrappy blanket, and just as a memory, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but it's gorgeous. I love it. So there's that. And one more thing that I have to share with you. There will be crinkling. I ended up doing a pre-order back in March with Pip and Pin. Megan No Decker, if you follow her, she is another incredible maker. But she does lots of patterns. I'm sure you know her. But she also has been doing mystery mini skein sets. So I did get one earlier this year, and I saw her pre-order come up for, it would be May's. So I ended up taking part in that. And you can either get the 5 mini skeins, or you can get the Knitter's Night In set, which comes with the 5 mini skeins, a soya candle, and a tea, a loose leaf tea, and a bag of loose leaf tea. And so yeah, it's all a surprise. Now, if you have certain scents that you can't smell, or certain teas that you know, may not like, or what have you, you can place a note in there, and she'll try to accommodate you. But yeah, I did the Knitter's Night In before, so I did get the candle and the tea, and the candles are absolutely amazing, and so was the tea. But I just decided to do the mini skeins this time, and this was what came. And they are just so beautiful. I love it. I can't remember if there was an option for the colors, if there was 2 different options for a color palette. So you don't know what you're getting, but you could choose a color palette, and I chose the blues and the teals because, yeah, that's me. Anyways, this beautiful one here, so they are different Canadian makers. So this one is Brine Dye Works in her Toasted colorway. And then we have Midnight Cravings in Diffraction. I hope I said that right. And then we have Ancient Arts Yarns in her Blue Spruce. I really like that. And we have another one by Ancient Arts Yarns in her Socknado base, which is A Galaxy Far, Far Away. Really love that one too. And the last one I would have to say is my favorite one. It is Lichen and Lace, and it is Teal Tide. And I really love Lichen and Lace because she is a local dyer in Sackville. Well, she was a local dyer in Sackville, New Brunswick. So I was like 20 minutes away from Sackville. So I really love her yarns. And yeah, so, and I noticed that she had posted, she's doing a shawl in her pressed flower colorway. It's absolutely stunning, you guys. You got to check her out. Anyways, there is the mini skeins. I have no idea what they will become. For right now, they're just sitting with my other mini skeins. I will most likely put them into my blanket, probably. I don't know yet, but they're gorgeous. So yeah, so I got those, and then with it, this was just on her site. I got her Lemon Drop stitch marker, or Progress Keeper, sorry. So yeah, this didn't come with the mini skeins. I just got that separately. So yeah, she did do pre-orders for August. I do not know, I didn't check first. I don't know if they're still up right now, but I did do August's pre-order. Yeah, August is my birthday, so I decided I would get those, and they do look like fun colors, like the picture that she showed. It does look quite fun. There's some like corals in there and that, so, and teals, so I'm super excited to see what they turn out to be. So yeah, and I believe you do have the option for the Knitter's Night In kit as well, so if you wanted the tea and the soya candle with it, I believe that was still an option as well. So yeah, so yeah, that's all I have to share with you guys today. There was a lot to talk about. So yeah, probably a warning for the next episode. There will probably be more socks again. Until summer sock camp is over, and summer in general, there will probably be lots of socks because I've just been enjoying them. But yeah, anyways, I will let you guys go because this is probably a super long episode. You can find details, show notes below with everything I talked about today. And until next time, guys, I hope you have a fabulous week ahead of you. Happy crafting and stay safe. Bye.